Hi there, and welcome back to the Grand Family Clinic, where we are here to help influence individuals and families to be healthier spiritually, emotionally, and relationally. Today we're going to talk about how to choose the best therapist, so buckle up and enjoy the ride. So there are three things that I like to think about when I consider choosing a therapist. The first component is price. If the therapist is too expensive, if they're overpriced, if they're out of your budget, then you're not going to be focused on the treatment. You're going to be focused on the cost. Now, that's not to say that you should have free therapy all the time. I think therapy should cost something, but it shouldn't break the bank. It should cost something, but it shouldn't cost you everything, right? If anything, it should be giving you something. So when I consider choosing a therapist, I would encourage you to consider the price options. Checking with your insurance company can be a great way to begin that journey. So if you call your insurance company, a lot of times they'll tell you therapists that are in network. Another way to do it is just look up therapists online close to my house, and you'll usually get something on Psychology Today or maybe even on Google where someone is advertising their services. Then you call them up and you ask them, how much is it per visit? What might my copay be? Sometimes they're going to want to do an evaluation. Sometimes the evaluation might cost more. But the first thought is this something that I can afford? As someone who's also worked in community mental health, I also see clients, and I've seen clients at no cost. I've done pro bono work. I enjoy doing that work. My favorite type of consumer is the one that is in desperate need. I like working with people that have great difficulty and a lot of issues. I feel like it's more rewarding. I feel like we have more success, and those are my people. That's what I grew up with. So I feel right at home. So if you're choosing a therapist, the first thing to consider is price. Going to therapy will cost you something, whether it's time, energy, emotions, it will cost something. So consider the price. The second thing to consider is the plan. If you were going to go to a physical therapist, they would give you an outline of the services that they would be doing. They would talk to you about the specific type of work they'll be doing, and they would expect that there would be progress after a certain amount of time. If there wasn't progress, ethically they should refer you somewhere else. So when you talk to a therapist for that initial session, I encourage you, talk to them about their plan. If they think that therapy is going to be this process that lasts a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, it might. There's a strong possibility that your treatment might last that long. However, you should have noticeable improvement within the first 12 weeks. Some of the most evidence-based treatments are treatments that have a time limit attached to them. Cognitive behavioral therapy. You should see some kind of results within the first 12 weeks or so. If you were going to do dialectical behavioral therapy or EMDR, all of these treatments are evidence-based, which means that they've got data behind them. That means that there's a time limit attached to them. Having an attachment to your therapist isn't as productive as having an attachment to a healthier life and a healthier version of yourself. So when you go to visit a therapist for the first time, talk to them about a plan. You can talk to them about that over the phone. Some of the best therapists will find out what you need and be able to explain to you how they're going to help you get to that point. If you've got a therapist that is only asking you how you feel, if you've got a therapist that's saying, sit on a couch and tell me how you feel about that, I wonder, is that really therapy or is that a one-sided conversation that you're paying for? That's not to say that Rogerian therapy doesn't work or a client-centered approach isn't helpful. It can be beneficial. But when someone is in desperate need, we need desperate services and we need results. So having a plan in therapy is important. The third thing is productivity. Therapy will come to a close. It's not meant to last forever. You have to live with you long after you leave our office. You have to live with your relationships, with your consequences, the natural consequences of your decisions. A therapist can point you in the direction that you want to go and then allow you to walk that path. But we can't walk that path for you. I tell my clients all the time, I can either be your therapist or I can be your girlfriend, but I can't be both. It's extremely important that you learn to live with you. So a good therapist will be productive. That means that we will look towards termination at the appropriate time. We will look towards referrals when necessary. When we see a client that has a treatment outside of our scope, we refer out. We connect you with the right people so that you can have the right progress. A good therapist is productive. They're looking for the outcome. They're looking for the next step. They understand that termination is the scariest part of the journey. So don't be afraid of what that looks like. Talking to a therapist can be a really scary conversation. If you don't know what you're expecting, if you don't know what you're looking for, and if you don't know how to choose the right therapist, if you don't feel safe, if you don't feel comfortable with that therapist, how are you going to progress? How are you going to share yourself with another human being, a perfect stranger, for 1 hour a week? It's just not going to happen. And if it does happen, it's going to be really weird. So when you choose a therapist, think of these 3 components. Price. Is this something that I can afford? Emotionally, financially, physically, with my time, all of those things. Is this something that I can afford? And then consider, do they have a plan? Are they telling me where we're going, or are they telling me what's wrong with my life? Are they only showing me what's wrong, or are they actually reflecting back the things that are important and relevant to help me see something different? And then finally, productivity. Is this therapist looking at the end game? Are they looking at the gains for me, not just for them? Am I another person that they're seeing, or am I someone that they're helping get to their destination? I hope this has been a help to you as you start your journey. Please subscribe, follow me for more videos and more content just like this. Thanks, and welcome to the family.